I don't even own a house today.
Oh,
I bought my first car after 18 years in the industry. Right?
oh,
I don't care what other people think about me. A
oh,
lot of people a lot of my relatives think I'm a very, very poor guy.
oh,
Yeah, because I don't even own a house. A lot of them don't even know that
okay,
I'm
okay,
popular
okay.
guy online. So, and I don't care. Like, I don't give a damn.
Hmm. कई बार मुझे भी सर सवाल आता है सामने से कि आई वॉन्ट टू बी ए टीचर, आई वॉन्ट टू बी ए मेंटर, एडुकेटर, एंड मेरे बस में जितना होता है, जितनी मेरी टिप्स होती है मैं बताता हूँ, बट what you would like to say to those people, that what are the steps that you should follow? चाहे वो आप लेट्स से फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं प्रोग्रामिंग की बात करता हूँ, अगर किसी को प्रोग्रामर बनना है तो what should be the roadmap? I used to ask you, what should it be?
Yeah. If somebody wants to get into programming these days, there are so many online courses, right? So the first thing that you need to figure out is, how do you want to learn? One of the things I really realized over my learning career is learning is something which is individual specific. There is no one learning approach which will work for everybody. So you need to figure out what works for you. What is the most efficient way you are able to learn, right? That's the number one thing that you need to work out. Whether, okay, I'm going to Coursera. I'm able to watch. Am I able to comfortably watch and understand everything? If I'm not able to do that, try something else. So try every option which is present out there. These days, most of the courses are free. If you go to YouTube, you get really, really quality education if you know how to find it. So most important thing for me is to first find out what works for you. If you want to learn Java or Python or JavaScript, watch 30 minutes of at least 10 different courses and see which one you like, right? Which one can you watch like a movie? Like, if let's say somebody is playing a Bahubali movie for you, you will sit relaxedly and watch it for 3 hours, right? Yeah. So which one do you feel like that, right? It's very, very important that whenever you'd want to learn something, you need to spend time. And to be able to spend time, you need to watch something you like, right? So first find that. First find the content you'll be able to watch without effort, right? Once you're able to get there, then use that content, practice as much as possible. Don't just watch, but also practice. That's the best way to start a programming journey. To start programming as much as possible using a really, really good teacher or online course, right? Some kind of instruction is very, very important. It might be a good book as well, right? There are a lot of great books as well. So whichever means you use, right? Books, videos. I read books a lot. So for me, books are always the favorites. But if you are not into books, if you want to watch videos, go ahead and do that. But whatever way you find, ensure that you consistently do that over a long period of time. It's not going to be, programming is not a career about learning one day and forgetting, right? It's about something where you build on it every day until a long time. So that's number one thing, how you learn, right? So programming is a little difficult to learn. And another important thing that people need to remember is that when it comes to programming, the first step is the most difficult one. Usually, right, when I'm riding a cycle, right? What is the most difficult part? Is the first part where you are learning to ride the cycle.
Yeah.
Same is programming, right? First step, until you are able to maintain the balance.
Yeah.
Then you can do skids and everything. Those are easier to learn. But the first step is difficult. Programming is the same, right? Until that clicks, like there will be a switch. Until that switch clicks, it's difficult. But once that switch is clicked over, from then you see that it becomes really, really easy. So I would say the difficulty curve initially is like this, and after that it goes flattens. And a lot of people think like things like, for example, people hear terms like DevOps, cloud, artificial intelligence. They think it's very, very complex. But once you are a good programmer, once you know data structures, algorithms, these are the difficult parts. Programming, algorithm, data structures are the difficult part. If you want to learn Docker, you can learn in one day. If you want to learn Kubernetes, you can learn in a week. If you want to learn cloud, you can learn in a month. Those are easier ones. But the fundamentals are the most difficult part. And that's why people struggle, right? A lot of people think tech is a difficult thing because the first steps are difficult. But once the base is there, right? Building blocks on top of it is very, very easy when it comes to programming. At least that's what I believe.
जी जी जी, और वही सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। बेस अगर आपका सबसे बड़ा मजबूत होगा, जैसे अभी अगर हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं सर, दुबई में क्या है, बुर्ज खलीफा, बुर्ज खलीफा है, तो उसके बेस भी उतना ही तगड़ा होगा जितना वो हाइट में दिख रहा है, जितना वो बड़ा दिख रहा है। तो दैट्स रियली इंपॉर्टेंट जो आपने अभी शेयर किया। और साथ ही साथ मैं अभी जानना चाहूंगा सर, देखिए हर एक की लाइफ में दो पहलू होते हैं, देयर आर टू साइड्स इन एवरीवन्स लाइफ। एक साइड होती है हैप्पी वाली, कि मतलब वी थैंक गॉड फॉर, या ये चीज मेरे पास है, so I'm really happy and I'm really thankful and grateful to God. On the other side, there is also one side that is like, this shouldn't have been in my life. Why this is in my life? Why, what's the reason for its existence in my life? So these are the two sides. I really want to know the two sides of your life.
Mentally, like, the thing is, I struggle to think negatively at all. So hardly
Oh,
at any point in time, I kind of see the positive side of things most of the times,
great,
right? Even if
great.
something happens, I don't know how I got to that. So whenever something happens, I try to pick up the positive. I mean, even if there is 90 negative and 10 positive, I just pick up the 10 positive, and I don't want I don't worry about everything being perfect. So
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
my life, I don't want everything to be perfect, right? I don't have that goal. I'm happy doing my best. Like for me, the important thing is accepting things and still doing my best. Right? The question I ask myself is, okay, given the situation, have I done my best? If
Yeah.
I have done my best, and if things still happen that way, yeah, probably I'll think for a little bit, but I'll try and forget it as soon as possible.
Okay.
So I kind of try and see the positive side of things, especially since becoming an entrepreneur. It's very, very important quality. Because when I'm in a job, I know the work I do gives me constant returns, right? So I go to job for 30 days. I know how much salary I would get at the first day of the month, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur as they call it, it's like your income is not directly proportional to the work you do, right? So today this month I would have created a course which would have bombed. Next month I create a course which is like uncomparably successful, right?
Yeah.
I have 55 courses, out of which only 15 courses are successful. 40 courses are failures, right? So once I become an entrepreneur, it's like what I realize is my effort should be consistent. Because I don't know which project will be successful, right? So like the same is the case of content creation journey, right? So in your YouTube channel, you would have created how many videos? A lot of them.
I think
sir,
mein 1500 ke upar videos hai, sir.
Exactly. However, if you look at the statistics, only the top 100 would be getting almost the majority of the views, right? But before that, we don't know which 100 will be successful. So we cannot, like, what I really decided was, okay, my best, I give my best, the results don't matter. The results, like if I spend sufficient effort choosing the right topic, creating the best possible course, that's it. I don't want to worry about the results. I mean, if there's good feedback, take it. If there is bad feedback, see if I can change something. So yeah, it's a difficult thing, but I found a way to ignore most of the negativity.
सर ये बहुत बड़ी क्वालिटी है और बहुत मुश्किल है सर इसको अपने लाइफ में लाना, टू इग्नोर द नेगेटिविटी, बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इज वी आर मोर अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स दैट थिंग, ऑलमोस्ट लाइक एवरी पीपल, लाइक कोई बात कर रहा है हमारे पीठ पीछे, हमारी बुराई कर रहा है, तो हमारा कान पहले उधर जाता है, अच्छाई की तरफ बाद में जाता है. तो लाइक इज देयर अ वे we can develop such kind of a thinking or personality to ignore this like negativity and move with our vision in positive manner?
Great question. I don't know how I got to this.
Yeah.
One of the things which really helped was the fact that I teach on Udemy, right? So on Udemy, reviews are critical. If for example, if I put the same video on YouTube and Udemy, on YouTube, people will hesitate before they write something really negative, especially for technical videos. I'll leave the other ones, right? The other ones are okay, but technical videos, people will say it's okay, good. They'll never say this is really bad video. Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
But on Udemy, you keep getting that kind of thing, right? And another factor was my accent, right? So Udemy is a place where people from around the world watch the content. So it might be somebody in US, Europe, or anywhere else who's watching the content. and therefore there were a lot of comments around my accent. So I think it's more of, okay, I watched those reviews flow in, and over a period of time, I built a little bit of thick skin, not to worry about it, right? So I always think, what can I do to solve that, right? So if somebody's saying negative, I think this way, right? So if somebody says your accent is bad, now I go back and think, what can I do to correct it? I realized this is something I cannot change. That's it. I forget. There is nothing I can do about it. I forget. However, there might be places where somebody says, okay, this screen is not updated or this is not working. Then I would think, okay, what can I do to help them do that better? If there is something I can do, I go ahead and implement. If there is nothing I can do about it, ignore. So somehow I got into the habit of taking every input, noting it down, and deciding if I have to take an action on it or not. If there is no action I can take on it, I ignore. So the moment if I actually see something, I take my mobile, I make a point to myself, right? If I see somebody say a comment or a suggestion, I immediately note it down in my mobile and I forget. I'll not remember it for a long time. And when I review it every week, I look at all the suggestion points and think about, okay, which of these can I really bring them in? Which of them can add value for future? Right? If there is nothing like that, I ignore. If there are things which I can improve, I improve.
सर आपने दोनों दुनिया देखी है, आपने जॉब की भी दुनिया देखी है, आपने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की भी देखी है. Which is better for you?
I mean, I don't think there's a generic answer. Even for me, like with the entrepreneurship comes a lot of risks, right? It's not like it's risk free. I mean, God forbid, my income can go down to zero next day, right? When I'm an entrepreneur, the same risks are not there in a job. However, there are advantages of entrepreneurship as well. I can choose what I want to do. Today, I'm talking with Sridhar, right? So this is all because of entrepreneurship. You know me because of In 28 Minutes, right? Yes. All this is possible only because of being an entrepreneur and being able to have the freedom. Like we are talking today, like it's Thursday, like 1:00, and we are on a call, like having a nice conversation, right? I mean, I kind of see this as a way where two people who are interested in technology are having a conversation, right? And this is something which is not possible if I was at a job. So this kind of flexibility to choose what I want to do, trekking, for example, I can tomorrow, if I want, I can go on a trek, right? That flexibility is what entrepreneurship gives me. I'm not a big people manager. So for me, that angle of entrepreneurship is not there. So I like actually talking to people, working with people. However, I don't like managing people. So in that angle of entrepreneurship is something I don't really appreciate because I'm not a good manager. But the fact that it gives me opportunity to talk to a lot of people who are like-minded, I think that's another thing I love.
जी बिल्कुल सही बात की सर आपने. अब मैं जॉब्स की बात कर ही रहा था, तो सर ऐसा होता है, मतलब बहुतों के ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस भी हैं जो कि मेरे साथ शेयर हुए हैं कि whenever we are into jobs, it's obviously a corporate world and there is a lot of politics going on in the corporate world. We all know that. Okay. So any of such kind of a politics you have observed throughout your career when you were like in a job, any of the instances have you like observed it?
No, absolutely. Politics are everywhere, right? It's not just the job. Even in entrepreneurship, it's normal. Politics are everywhere. You have competitors, you have politics. All that is common, right? So again, it's the same thing, right? What can I do to improve the situation? If there is nothing I can do, ignore. If there is something I can contribute, go ahead and do that, right? It's also like, for example, if I have to quote an example, a lot of times I have been passed on for promotions, right? I was not promoted as much as possible because I was more into tech. Like this is like 10-15 years back, right? So at that time, the usual path is in IT services is you are expected to be a manager very, very soon. However, the thing is, if you become a manager, you can manage 100 people and then you can generate more revenue, right? But if you're a single programmer, there is only so much that you can contribute. So in that sense, I was not promoted as much as I think I should have.
टोटली मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ आपकी भावनाएं जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं होता है सबके साथ और हर जगह पे होता है, वो भी एक एक फैक्ट है, एक ट्रुथ है। सर, एक इस पॉडकास्ट में इतनी सारी मजेदार बातें चल रही है, इतना कुछ सीखने को मिल रहा है, बट इस पॉडकास्ट को खत्म करने से पहले एक आखिरी और बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सवाल मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा। वो ये है सर कि सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन सबके लिए अलग होती है। मेरे लिए, मैं अगर आपको बताऊं तो मेरे लिए सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन ये है कि मैं जो कल था और जो आज हूं, क्या उसमें 0.00001% का भी इंप्रूवमेंट है? इज देयर एनी काइंड ऑफ इंप्रूवमेंट इन माय पर्सनैलिटी? इज देयर एनी ग्रोथ? सो फॉर मी, इफ इट इज यस, देन देयर इज अ सक्सेस। आई वॉन्ट टू रियली नो कि आपके हिसाब से सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन क्या है फॉर यू?
A very difficult question. Success definition. I don't know, actually. To be really, really frank, for me, it's all about making sure that I'm doing things as well as I can today. That's it. So I focus on what are the important things. Like there'll be 100 or 200 things that I can do at this particular point in time, out of which I spent a lot of effort to identify what are the 10 which are important. And for me, it's all about focusing on those 10 and doing them really, really well and not worrying about the results of them. Right. So for me, that's what I focus on. For me, it's always about what can I do best at this particular point in time and how can I improve myself. Right. Today, like at the start, you were saying the video quality is really, really good. Right. So that's something which evolves over a period of time. We did a lot of trials. So that's exactly. So for me, it's not about perfection. It's about improvement. Just like you say, like it's about doing the best I can and keeping improving. I think those are the two things I focus on. There is no success, right? How do you define success? Is 1 million learners a success? Is 10,000 learners a success? Is 10 million success? So at any point you tie success to a number. I don't see that being a good definition.
जी, क्योंकि सर मतलब सोसाइटी जो है उसके लिए आपके सक्सेस के मायने ऐसे होते हैं कि अरे आपका लड़का कितना कमा रहा है, अच्छा आज महीने में जो है ये 2 लाख कमा रहा है, 3 लाख कमा रहा है, अरे यार ये देखो कितना सक्सेसफुल बंदा है। अगर कोई कुछ पैसे नहीं कमा रहा है, मान लीजिए वो सिर्फ काम कर रहा है और उसके पैसे बाद में आने वाले, रिटर्न उसकी मेहनत का बाद में मिलने वाला है, तो उस बंदे को सक्सेसफुल नहीं माना जाता, बिकॉज अब तो उसका पैसा नहीं।
स्टोरी?
जी जी बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल।
आई डोंट इवन ओन अ हाउस टुडे।
Oh.
I bought my first car after 18 years in the industry. Right? I don't care what other people think about me. A lot of people a lot of my relatives think I'm a very, very poor guy.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't even own a house. A lot of them don't even know that I'm a popular guy online. So, and I don't care. Like, I don't give a damn. The people I really care about are my family. And I ensure that they are comfortable. That's all matters for me. I hardly care what others people think. I mean, there is no, like my definition of what I want to be. I want to define it myself. What makes me happy should be defined by me, not by others. Like that's something which I'm a great believer in. And like for me, like I felt a house is something which does not add any value to me. I can buy a house whenever I want. However, if I want to buy a house, really good one, I have to spend 6 months. And I don't have the time to spend 6 months on something like that. Right? I would rather spend 6 months to create a great course. So that's how I think. And
Sir, इस पे मैं थोड़ा पूछना आपको, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, बट एक थोड़ा सा मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि ये थोड़ा अलग माइंडसेट है, मतलब ये मैं फर्स्ट टाइम सुन रहा हूँ बेसिकली किसी से कि देयर इज नो इशू लाइक वी कांट बाय अ हाउस और समथिंग लाइक दैट, बट वी रियली, मतलब आपका जो पर्सपेक्टिव ऐसा है कि घर की क्या ही जरूरत है, व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ अ हाउस। ओके, तो इसके ऊपर आपका क्या सोच है, मतलब व्हाई डू यू थिंक दैट हाउस इज नॉट दैट मच इंपॉर्टेंट इन वंस लाइफ?
Yeah, like look at India, right? If I have to buy a house today, really good house, I have to pay 1.5 crores or 2 crores, right? So I mean, I'm talking about like in a big city, like like in a good residential area, right? However, the same thing I can rent for 25,000, 30,000, right? A huge difference. If you just take that money and put it in a bank, like it's a completely different equation altogether, right? So it's more, I think, more like a psychological thing which was built over a period of time, because buying houses earlier was not as expensive, right? If I go back 20 years, it was not so expensive. So it's in our culture to own a house. However, the situation on the ground has changed a lot. The situation of the ground is completely different today. However, that feeling of owning a house, right, is still in our mind. And like luckily, I never had that feeling. Like for me, house is just a place to stay. I don't really worry a lot. As long as it's comfortable. Like it should be comfortable. It should be good. It should be really, really happy place. That's good. But I don't have something attached saying, okay, this is my house. Like I don't have that kind of an attachment, right? So I don't care. Like I mean, this office, for example, which I'm is a rented office, and I've been renting this for 5 years. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
मैं सच बता रहा हूँ सर, जो आपने आज चीज कही है ना, ये घर वाली, ये मुझे फर्स्ट टाइम मुझे किसी से सुनने को मिली है. एंड या इट हैज गिवन अ लाइक समथिंग डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ थिंकिंग अबाउट द लाइफ. एंड सर ऐसा और भी कुछ है चौंकाने वाला जो आप अभी अपने पर्सनल लाइफ से रिलेटेड शेयर करना चाहेंगे? घर का तो हो गया, और कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं?
I'm not sure. The thing is, as far as I'm concerned, those are very logical decisions, right? They are not surprising. So it's not a surprise that
everyone agree with that decision, like at home, or like yeah, it is okay, it's cool.
Yeah, why not? Because they like. The thing is this, right? At home, I get a chance to explain why I make a decision, right? My wife knows why I make that decision. My mother knows why I make that decision. Exactly. They know that for me, time is the most valuable thing. And I cannot spend 3 to 4 months trying to search for a house, buy one, get it in a shape where I want to. Because if you buy a house, you don't want to like just live in some house. You want to make it really, really yours, right? It takes a lot of time to make a house, into a home, right? And that effort is a lot. And like for me, I thought, okay, I would rather create courses, especially because it's like really, really like if you look at Udemy, it's growing like 100% every year. And we have been growing along with Udemy, along with it. And I thought, okay, additional great course in there adds much more value to me than any other asset.
तो सर आपकी लाइफ में तो कोई लोन वगैरह का टंटा होगा ही नहीं? मतलब लोन वगैरह ऐसे फंडे होंगे ही नहीं, घर ही नहीं लेना?
I don't remember getting a loan.
Oh. This is very, like you can say, a very positive perspective or a positive side of your opinion that why we need a house, because there is no loan on your like head that you have to, okay, yaar, itna pay karna hai, aise karna hai, वैसे करना है. So yeah, this has given me a really
and also it's added to it is the fact that I wanted to start something online. I wanted to get into e-learning. So it was a very conscious decision of mine to have money in hand. The thing is, my expenses today are no different from my expenses 6 years back or 7 years back.
Oh, this is very, very difficult, sir. This is very, very difficult. Let me tell you. Because, see, like what we say, per year, we will be earning more and more. Like the last year, if I used to make an amount of X, the next year I would be making 2X or 3X. Right. But with that, the expense also increase. This is a fact, and this everyone is facing this, and that's why वहां पे उनके पास पैसों की कमी आ जाती है. भले आप कमा ज्यादा रहे हो, लेकिन पैसों की कमी है. तो सर ये आप एक्सपेंस मैनेज कैसे करते हो, या फिर इतना मेंटेन कैसे रखा है आपने?
No, I only go for what I need. Simple, right? I invest in things which I need. I judge it. I don't let others judge it for me. Like if I have to buy a car, it's others who are telling me which. Like today, a lot of times people make decisions based on what others think of them, not based on what you think of yourself. I know what I need, right? I know how much space I need. And if you look at today, most biggest expenses are like transport and accommodation. If you can manage those two things, the rest of the things are anyway, if you're doing an IT job, right? Obviously, right? India is such a diverse country. And I know we are lucky. I mean, we call ourselves middle class, but actually probably 90% of the people who are in IT are like in like probably the top 5% income earners in India, right? So we are really, really privileged to be in this position. That's something I believe in. IT, like who is in IT today? Like even if somebody is earning 20,000, 30,000 rupees, right? It's a lot of money when you talk about Indian context, right? Obviously, if you look at IT itself, there are people who earn 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, and there are people who earn 20,000, 30,000. But 20,000, 30,000 itself is not a small amount of money. And I believe like my needs should be always near to what they were when I started off my job, right? First job. And unless something is needed, I don't go for it. I mean, I do invest, right? It's not like I don't invest. I like the camera I'm looking at right now is one of the best cameras out there. The mic I'm using is Shure SM5E, right? So these are the best of the breed equipments. But these are the only best of the breed equipments in here. All the others which would be here, like I don't care because the quality of this matters. Wherever quality does not matter, I don't really mind.
जी 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 सर, अभी पैसों की बात हो ही रही थी तो एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल सबके दिमाग में रहता है कि यार गेस्ट आए हैं और आपने उनको पैसे से रिलेटेड सवाल ही नहीं पूछा कि अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, इफ यू वांट टू रिवील नॉट लाइक डायरेक्टली द फिगर्स दैट यू अर्न, बट अगर सोचा जाए या आपसे पूछा जाए इनडायरेक्टली, इफ यू वुड लाइक टू टेल कि आप सालाना तौर पे एनुअली हाउ मच यू मेक, कितना छाप लेते, कितना मनी?
Let's like it will be in the top 0.1 percentile in India. So it's like very, very few people online will earn so much. Let's put it that way.
ओके 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 गॉट द आंसर समझ गए। तो सर यहाँ पे हमने बात की आपके इनकम की, बट मे आई नो कि क्या क्या आपके जो सोर्सेज हैं, जैसे अभी आप कमा रहे हैं, तो people who are looking at this podcast, they may also try to, put in their efforts in those sources and they may also start earning from those sources. So may I know ki, what are your sources of income?
No, I mean, my main source of income is Udemy. That's it.
Okay.
It's contradictory, right? People say you should not put all your eggs in the same basket. But I feel that if basket is growing 2 times every year, that's the basket you need to go towards. So I don't want to just spread my eggs in different baskets just because I need to split them out. Like I feel, I believe in the cause of Udemy, and I believe Udemy is doing a great job. And that's why I'm ready to put all my eggs in Udemy basket. And worst works, Udemy goes bust or something happens, fingers crossed, I'll retire. Right. So there is not a lot of pressure on me because I don't have a big team or anything. There are not a lot of people who are reliant on my income. So it's okay for me to take that risk, but that's a conscious choice. Again, it's a risk I'm happy to live with. Right. So but if somebody wants to earn, the first thing is the skills they are bringing in. So number one thing you need to think about is what is the unique skill that you think you are in the top 1 percentile for, right? What is that thing you will be able to do that 100 others cannot do? That's the number one thing. If you have that, like for example, if you are able to do comedy skits really, really well, or if you are able to talk in a very, very humorous way, right? That's a skill. The second thing you need to find out is the platform, right? So once you have the skill, once you are good at the skill, once you are an expert at it, the second thing is, what is the platform which gives the most value for your skill? It's not the same platform for everybody, right? So some people are successful on YouTube. Some people are successful on Coursera. Some people are successful on Udemy. So there is no one platform which is for everybody. For your skill which you have, you need to work out what is the platform which gives you the best returns, right? Even if you have the skill, but you are not on the right platform, your returns will be lower. So it's about the match between your skill and the platform, or you build a platform of your own. Because these days, things like YouTube are great places, right? A lot of people completely build their entire enterprise just based on YouTube. So the opportunities are there, and there is no need to think the traditional way. It's not about just becoming a doctor or an engineer anymore. Especially in South, right? We have the mentality of doctor, engineer first. And today, the opportunities are there where even arts, even other areas, if you are a great dancer, right? You create 100 videos on YouTube, there's a chance that you might become a sensation. So singers today are found on YouTube. So things like that can happen.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल समझ गया सर जी। और यहाँ पे जनता को भी बहुत सारी चीजें इस पॉडकास्ट के थ्रू पता चल गई है। और सर बातें इतनी मतलब मजेदार हो रही थी कि समझ ही नहीं आया कि 1 घंटा कब निकल गया है। और इतनी सारी बातें हुई, इतनी सारी पहलू आपके लाइफ के हमने जाने हैं, समझे। और सच में मुझे पर्सनली सर बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला है। पॉडकास्ट की शुरुआत में मैं ऐसी खाली थाली लेके बैठता हूँ और जो सामने वाले गेस्ट होते हैं उनको बोलता हूँ आने दीजिए, जितना आप परोस सकते हैं परोसिए। और आज मैंने पेट भर के खाया है और यही खाना मैंने आप तक भी पहुंचाया है, आपको भी परोसा है। तो दोस्तों, ये जो पॉडकास्ट है इसे जरूर लाइक करिए इसे जरूर शेयर करिए और सब्सक्राइब करिए, बिकॉज ये तीनों चीजें ही फ्री है और ऐसी चीजें मैं परोसते रहूंगा। और सर जी, पॉडकास्ट को अंत करने से पहले मैं आपको इस दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा थैंक यू देना चाहूंगा कि आपने अपना वैल्यूएबल टाइम निकाला, आप यहाँ पे आए और आपने अपनी लाइफ हमारे साथ डिस्कस की। थैंक्स अ लॉट रंगा सर जी फॉर कमिंग एंड शेयरिंग योर लाइफ। थैंक यू।
Thanks a lot, Sridhar. Before we end, I just want to add in a small initiative which we are doing
जी
right now.
जी जी
So
जी।
one of the goals, one of the things I really, really believe in is online learning and cloud. Right? Why am I saying online learning and cloud? Because if you are in technology, you need to continuously learn. And if you want to learn continuously, the best place is to go online. So for
जी
me, the two skills that college learners need to have are, number one is, obviously in college you have lecturers, so learn from them, but also learn how to learn online, how to learn on your own, self-learning. That's number one skill. Number two, cloud, right? So a lot of machine learning, I mean, you are an expert on machine learning, data engineering
जी
and all that.
जी
Most of the enterprises today use cloud for that, right? Most of our applications are running in the cloud. And
जी
anything you do today, in few years, you would be doing it on the cloud. So,
जी
and like cloud is not difficult. Like programming is difficult, data structures is difficult, algorithms is difficult, machine learning is difficult, but cloud is not difficult. If you want to get started in the cloud, it's very, very easy, right? So we have started an initiative where we are actually reaching out to colleges and we are conducting sessions in the college to encourage them to learn the cloud. And also we are providing them with all the resources to enable the students to do certifications for free.
ओके।
So if there are any viewers who are in colleges right now and you would want to connect us with your college, we would want to do a session at your college to explain why cloud is important. And also we would want to help you get started on the cloud with online learning. And we would want to help you get certified for free. So that's an initiative we have started. We have done it already in a couple of colleges and we are going to take it to all the colleges in India.
जी जी। तो जनता जी, अनाउंसमेंट कर दी है सर ने, खुद बता दिया है। तो जो भी इनकी एक इनिशिएटिव है वो बहुत बढ़िया है। और सर ये आई थिंक ऑल ओवर इंडिया में है।
Yes, this is across India, all engineering colleges in India for now.
जी जी जी, फिर तो बढ़िया है। फिर तो जैसा चांस है उस पर डांस करिए, जितने लोग कर सकते हैं। बढ़िया सा चांस दे दिया सर ने। एंड वंस अगेन सर, थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर बीइंग ऑन दिस पॉडकास्ट। थैंक यू सर।
Thanks a lot, Sridhar.